Access Sacramento presents Hometown Sports Game of the Week. Major underwriting support this season for Hometown Sports Game of the Week on Access Sacramento is provided by the Sacramento Metropolitan Cable Television Commission. Access Sacramento also thanks Sharif Jewelers, fine jewelers since 1932. Sharif Jewelers, a longtime sponsor of community television. And Folsom Lake Honda, a proud sponsor of Access Sacramento's Hometown TV and Game of the Week, and a partner in our community, Folsom Lake Honda.
We are rounding the far turn and heading down the home stretch of high school basketball's regular season here in the Sac Joaquin section, and teams desperate for victories to get a better seeding in the upcoming playoffs are playing intense basketball. And tonight, Access Sacramento's Hometown Sports Game of the Week has an excellent example of that, a girls' Delta League showdown. St. Francis visiting Elk Grove, and really a must-win for both squads. Welcome to the Herd's home gym here. I'm Will James along with Lauren Gooden, and tonight's matchup very provocative. We have a pair of second-year female head coaches, both having succeeded long-standing male counterparts. And it's a rematch. First time around at St. Francis, the Troubadours able to notch a big win.
Yeah, these two teams definitely need to notch this win. It could go either way, Will. So tonight we're going to see one of the classic Delta matchups.
Well, let's take a look at the last meeting between these two teams not all that long ago, back on the 17th of January. And the quick start really was the pivotal element in that victory for St. Francis.
Yeah, St. Francis was able to get out a big lead in the first 23-6. That's an amazing start for the Troubies. And they were able to withstand the Elk Grove Herd coming back in the second half. That's a really, really tough game. And I know Elk Grove wishes they had that one back, but the Troubies know that if they can get this game out of control early from the Herd, they can be victorious.
Well, St. Francis head coach Heather Brown-Holtz and her crew confident with that victory the first time around, coming on the road tonight with the knowledge that they can handle Elk Grove if they play up to expectations. Now, the last outings for these two squads. A tough matchup for the Troubadours facing undefeated Franklin.
Yeah, I was going to say Franklin stays undefeated, being able to pull away in the third, huge 27-point third quarter. That's going to be a significant win for St. Francis. But on the other, but on the other side, Elk Grove able to crush right now. Consumnes Oaks, they're really in a rebuilding group in time right now, but as the Herd has gotten back into full strength, they've been really to take off smoothly.
They have indeed. This is a long-standing rivalry. The squads are very intense. Both second-year coaches happy with how their teams have performed up to this point in time, and largely based on the success of impact players. They are going to loom large this evening, and here's the breakdown.
Well, the Troubies are coming in with their big three. Mackenzie Lane, she's coming in 7 points right now, 4 rebounds, and she's number 26 in the state in assists. That's a big-time impact at the point guard position. Then you have Sarah Collinger. She's coming in with 9 and 9. That's a good average right there. Really balanced attack. And then the big-time star, number 24, Mia Fleming-Mullen, coming in 17 points a game, and she has been on the tear in the last 5. Troubies really loaded with their big three. And on the other side, you have the Elk Grove Herd. They're coming in with Harden. She's the captain, coming in with a really balanced attack, being able to set the Herd straight. And then Maya, she's really big. Number 5, I think she's one of their sleepers right now. Even though she is an impact player, her game is all the way around and she's really balanced. And then coming in, Melee Finau, she is really big in the inside, can score both ways going in. If they can get the power punch in the middle, they're going to be really, really good as we see her there warming up with her team.
Well, rebounding and post play is going to factor huge in tonight's contest. Both coaches believe in that. And Tricia Campbell, in her second year guiding Elk Grove, coming off a 20-9 season a year ago, has ultimate confidence in her ball club, particularly, as you mentioned, with some important players recovering from injuries earlier this season. So that's the way we've got it set up for you tonight on the Hometown Sports Game of the Week. Here from Elk Grove, the host, Thundering Herd, taking on the invading St. Francis Troubadours. Stay with us. We'll be back. Not far off, opening tip-off and starting lineups.
Here's something we bet you didn't know. Nearly half of all cancers can be prevented. That's right, half. Nearly 50%, mostly by making small everyday changes in your diet and controlling your weight, walking more, eating less, and eating foods that help you and your family to seriously reduce the risk of cancer. And of course, by not smoking. Visit the Cancer Prevention Together We Can website and get a free 30-day planner filled with tips, recipes, stats, and more about protecting your family. Go to prevent50.org.
Welcome to the big show. Nice to have you with us this evening for Access Sacramento's Hometown Sports Game of the Week. We've got a doozy for you, a Delta League showdown, girls style, as St. Francis comes into Elk Grove to take on the Herd. And second place in the Delta at stake, Lauren Goodman.
These two teams are really ready to go head-to-head. Both coaches really planning and game planning, preparing for this day. Obviously, they know Franklin has a clear landslide with the victory, but if these two teams can really battle it out right here, make it worthy of something, they both can have a bright playoff future.
There's the officials monitoring tonight's game. Veteran Marcia Barkley working with Joe Panee. We're underway. St. Francis with first possession to open the action. Feed low. This is Mullins. Fleming Mullins, as Lauren alluded to earlier, she has been on a tear. She's averaging 17-7 on the season, but has had 4 superb games. Air ball long, shot by Lee, the Troubadours' top 3-point shooter, but that was well off target. And now the Herd with their first possession. Harden, a kick out. Shot long, missed by Evans. She's a double-figure scorer for this ball club, averaging 11.6.
Well, the Troubies come out in man-to-man, it seems like. I like it. I think Coach Brown-Holtz has been working on it for a year now, coming into her second year, really just getting discipline on the defensive side. And it's really good for him. I like St. Francis coming out in the man-to-man look.
Finau boards the miss by Harden. They'll get a third try, and we'll set the starting lineups for you right here. Lay and Lee with Rivera, Fleming, Mullins, and Cloninger. A third miss. This time, Fleming Mullins clears the rebound. Troubadours on the attack.
And on the other side right now for the Herd, we're seeing a 2-3 zone, really active, kind of a piggyback of the late Larry Price and how they played really an extended aggressive zone, and you're seeing a little bit of that right now.
Drive and kick. Lee misses a 3-ball, but there's Fleming Mullins for the offensive board. Another try at in and out. on the long miss that time by Rivera. Cold shooting to start the game. We played nearly 2 minutes. Nothing going down so far. Strong drive and a bank shot high off the glass, knocked in by Evans.
Evans had a really clear lane going to the left, but strong drive creates something good.
Mackenzie Lane on the point for St. Francis, one of the state's assist leaders. Another deep shot taken and missed that time. Transition for the Herd. Evans to Fanau.
And everybody really here for the Herd are extremely excited to have their full squad back. I've gotten to see them a couple times in the preseason and early in the regular season where they haven't had their full squad.
Steele on the run, take it strong. Harden is back and a clean block on the drive as she rejects Sarah Cloninger.
That was a nice defensive play there for Harden.
So the first turnover of the game does not sting Elk Grove. And out of bounds to the Herd, so both clubs with a turnover now. Nice defense there by Harden. Deep J on the way, another long miss, this time taken by Cellini. Lay, drive and kick, Rivera, air ball long on another three. Here's a run out, who's got the cherry picker, a foul on Lee to prevent a sure bucket by McCoy.
I think they're going to hit Lee with an intentional.
It did rather look like a grab, but head coach Heather Brownholtz giving an earful to one of our officials. Let's take another look.
And yeah, I wouldn't call it intentional though. She went for the basketball down low, just grabbed her arm a little bit too strong. That wasn't a malicious play as far as her intent, so that's an interesting call so early in the game, but now we have free throws.
So they clear the lane, and first free throw dropped by McCoy. 1 for 2, but it's a 3-0 Herd lead. We played about 3 minutes and meager scoring, but hard play. I imagine the early game jitters are going to smooth out for both squads. This is a very important game.
Extremely important. Somebody's going to have to secure that second spot. Of course, Elk Grove needs to add to their winning margin. Fairly low, kind of overplayed this preseason, as you see there. Another turnover.
Boy, that was a shaky pass into the high post from Evans to Fanau. She was doubled, and it resulted in the turnover. Second one on the Herd. A little bit of extended pressure here. Lay roars around it.
And that's really when the Herd are good, when they can really put that ball pressure on top, not let the Trubies get down low.
Cloninger, strong in the post, muscled her way in and drew the contact and the foul. It's being charged. Singleton's first team foul, each team with one. Here's another look. You'll see how aggressive Cloninger is here.
Yeah, so that's something that they definitely wanted to do. Get the ball in the inside of the middle and score around the key. And when they get to the foul line, that's another added bonus to their benefit as you see them getting the offensive rebound right here.
1 out of 2 for Cloninger, but the Troubadours are on the board. A 3-1 Elk Grove lead, but St. Francis will inbound from the near side. Defended close there by Evans, who's having a word with referee Marcia Barkley. Here's Fleming Mullins, scoring ace for St. Francis, averaging nearly 18 a game.
And she's been pretty much neutralized here, but she did get an offensive rebound in the first a couple minutes ago. So if they don't find her, we're gonna be in trouble.
Evans with the tap away. The trailer travels on the play. Outstanding defense. McCoy dragged the foot. They turn it over for the third time, but credit Evans for the pick and run against Lay. Hurd still deployed. 2-1-2 full. And a wild pass and another turnover.
And that was something the Troubadours definitely didn't want. They don't want to give the Herd any extra possessions, but another turnover there.
Jasmine Lee with the poor pass. 3 turnovers for each club now at the midway mark of the first. Inside, Singleton a miss. And McCoy boards it and sticks it back in.
McCoy strong off the bench right now. We thought she would be in the starting lineup. She's definitely a presence for the Herd.
Cloninger misses on the drive. 5-1 Elk Grove. Corner jumper McCoy down.
Long 2 from McCoy, but she's seeing the rim as wide open daylight and just taking shots in rhythm.
Whistle and a foul signaled by Marcia Barkley. It's on Harden. Here's Fleming Mullins, turnaround jumper pops off. Cellini rebounds.
And I like that for her first shot attempt. That's a good one. She caught it in the low post, got just an easy turn and face. They're going to have to do a little bit better pressure.
Evans, a runner, wobbles home.
Well, right now it's been the Evans and McCoy show for Elk Grove, but there's another foul as they try to apply pressure.
Cellini fouling Fleming Mullins. Good look there at second-year Elk Grove head coach Tricia Campbell. I'd have to say she's probably pretty pleased with the score right now.
Yes, coming off a strong season last year in her first year and dealt with 3 ACL injuries early in the season. So just getting her full team back, I know she's ecstatic about that.
Long miss by Lee from 3-ball range, tapped out of bounds. Nice position by Cloninger to shield off McCoy, so the Troubadours will have the rock here at the 2:39 mark. They're down 8. Good hands by Cellini, tap away, but Troubadours will hold on to the basketball. This game is at least starting in reverse of the first meeting when St. Francis jumped out 23-6.
It's looking like almost a similar start, but see the read there? Elk Grove all over it and still.
3-on-1, got it. The layup by Evans, her 6th point. Time out taken by St. Francis at the 2:29.
Got to stop the bleeding and timeouts as much as you see the Herd right now really energetic and ecstatic about how they've been playing.
It's a 30-second for St. Francis. Well, early shock treatment administered by host Elk Grove. 11-1 the score, and the bucket coming off of another turnover.
Yeah, they really haven't let Mullen get any clear open looks. They've been extending the pressure, going from that 2-1-2 press really into their active 2-3 zone. So, and it's really forcing the Troubadours to do what they don't want to do, which is shoot threes. Both teams aren't really a three-point shooting team. They score most of their points inside, so the zone has really impacted them thus far.
Here's Lee. She's taken at least 3 shots, all from 3-ball range. Loses the rock. St. Francis fortunate to hold on to it in the person of Nicole Rivera.
And now we see the Herd go into a little bit of man-to-man.
6 on the shot clock, 5-4, Rivera down. A huge bucket right there.
Took the words right out of my mouth. I was like, that was a huge bucket by Revere, really locked and loaded, and hopefully that sets the tone for their defense.
McCoy to Cellini. Bobble picked up. Evans misses an open layup, but McCoy follows, cannot hit. Rebounding foul against St. Francis. Cellini gets a return pass, down, deep deuce.
And I told you that's something Cellini is so good at. When you get to the 12 to 15 footers, she is knocked down.
A poor pass, another turnover. 5 on the Troubadours early on.
And Fleming Mullen didn't need to make that pass. You see, they're trying to get Britton the ball, and that's why.
Wow. Fanau with a nice soft touch with the left. Her first hoop, 15-4. Lay, a drive, a reverse layup missed. Nice rebound by Cloninger, and the putback banked home. (15-6). Cloninger with 3 of the 6. The other 3 on a tray by Rivera. Let me correct myself. Britton into the scoring column the last time down the floor for the Herd. Here's McCoy now. Got a whistle and a push spotted by Marcia Barkley.
And that's now Lee's second foul. And it's interesting to see that they took out Cloninger on that last one. She's been really strong offensively.
Cellini down, corner 3. 18-6. Tough D applied by Harden. Baseline J, over and off shot by Fleming Mullins. Out of bounds to Elk Grove.
And Mullins just hasn't seen a clear shot at all, which is good because the tear that she's been on, you can tell that the Herd has made the defensive adjustment that they needed to.
There's a buzzer ending the first. We have played 1 here from Elk Grove High in this key Delta League matchup. 18-6, the hosts on top of St. Francis. We'll be right back. Oh, well, I just forgot myself. Let's take a look at the keys because Goody put them together, and let's see how they've been shaken out so far after 8 minutes.
Well, I think offensive execution is going to be key for both teams. They don't really run and gun too much, so if they can get down in the half court and really execute their plays, I think that's when they're both most effective. They like to score on the inside. Offensive execution is key. Secondly, it's extremely important that they get defensive stops either by creating steals or defensive rebounds, securing the basketball, something that right now the Herd has done extremely well, forcing 5 turnovers on the Troubadours and turning those steals into points is really key. And then lastly, I think the team with the least amount of turnovers will win the ball game. Right now the Troubadours have 5 turnovers. That's not going to help them secure this victory. So it's really important that both teams take care of the basketball, which they both have struggled in those losses that they've occurred. They had a high number of turnovers. So we'll see how that turns out for the rest of the game.
Well, head coach Heather Brown-Holtz of St. Francis has supreme confidence in her ball club. Off to a rocky start here on the road, and not yet matching the intensity of Elk Grove. Elbow jumper missed. Wow, look at that. Fanau tough on the boards, but Marcia Barkley has spotted it out of bounds. Call it an Elk Grove turnover. 18-6 as we've just opened second quarter action. Nice to have you with us this evening for Access Sacramento's hometown sports game of the week. With Lauren Goodman, I'm Will James, and we have an intense ball game despite the lopsided score at present. Lots at stake.
Oh, yeah, it is. And right now you see a lot more movement by St. Francis. It got kind of stagnant here, but they were moving really well prior.
Travel and a turnover against Fleming Mullins. Turnover number 6. Here's Harden, crafty point guard.
And one thing Britton and Fanal do really well is get in the position. It's really, and you see another turnover there for the Herd. It's really key that they move the ball quickly and then dump it into her. Even if she doesn't score, she gets such good positioning that you have to force in at least double team, and then that opens it up for the guards.
Well, St. Francis will have to figure out a way to get Fleming Mullins into the scoring column. Meanwhile, Cloninger has a shot blocked by Fanal. Tough D by the Herd.
And it's been all about the Herd's defense this pretty much first half. They've been able to get defensive stops and get the ball in right on time. They got to hit Fanal. She's open on the low side, but they don't hit her.
Sienna Yee from the corner passes up the shot. A good 3-ball shooter.
And this is when you got to hit her as she dives down, but too late, too far from the basket.
Shot clock violation. A little lack of awareness. Both clubs giving up the basketball. Turnover department, 7 for St. Francis, 6 for the Herd.
And
now
both teams starting off with 2 turnovers per first possessions. That can't happen.
Mackenzie Lane picks up the dribble. Rivera defended by Yee. Another turnover, poor pass into the post. Wow. Harden. Drive on Rivera, feed Fanal, beautifully done.
Easy money.
20-6, Elk Grove in charge. Lee, her team needs her to start knocking down some shots. 3-ball is her specialty. She's hit 50 of them this year. Fleming Mullins, a poor pass intended for Cloninger. Another turnover, transition. Cellini missed, follow-up. A foul as Fanal ran the floor and got the reward.
And that was really good for somebody her height and her size to run the floor that well, get a rebound, give your team a chance.
Melee hits the first. Three fouls on Jasmine Lee. And now buries them both. And that's quite a statement considering she's a 35% free thrower.
It's been all Herd thus far, and you see it on the free throw line, you see it with their defense creating turnovers and getting easy buckets like they did on the last one.
Elk Grove redeploys their 2-1-2 full. Here's Mackenzie Lane. Right through the double team, breaks it down, feeds low. At point blank range, a shot missed there by Oge Okoye.
Okoye got to take advantage of those easy buckets right there. Can't miss easy layups, especially when you have so many turnovers right now.
Mackenzie Lane broke down the defense beautifully and had that dish. They'll need more. Into the post, Cloninger around Singleton, a poor pass, Harden. Loose ball, picked up by Yee, another St. Francis turnover, 10 of them. Drive it strong, a miss there. Shot by McCoy. Transition for St. Francis. A bank missed, one and done as Cellini pulls the board. Yee runs down a long pass. Break up, near steal, but Singleton out hustles Cloninger for it. Cellini step back and hit a short J. It's all Elk Grove, 24-6. I'd say that's a pretty good carbon copy.
Coming out extremely strong right now, having a balanced attack.
A
Tip
block.
block right there.
Wow.
And I want to see them find Yee where her feet are set.
Harden, a long miss. Boy, that would have really been a big shot there. Midway second. It's been all Elk Grove, the host herd, really putting it to the Troubadours right now.
They absolutely have, and it's impacted Fleming Mullen. She hasn't even looked to score, but you see Coach Heather Brownholtz talking to her team right now, getting on them because they're out of position and don't know where they need to be.
So timeout taken by St. Francis. It's a 30, and you're right. Coach Brownholtz is steamed right now.
And I would be too, because right now, like I was saying, Fleming Mullen hasn't even looked to make another attempt at the basket. She's been playing now for this whole first quarter, second half. And then on the other side is they're getting too stagnant with the basketball. They're looking and not really creating and attacking. So I definitely can understand her frustration. And then she makes subs right now because players on the floor have to know what they're doing. They've kind of gotten some foul trouble with Lee picking up the 3 fouls, so they have some different players in. But at the same time, if you want to make stretches down in the playoffs, you have to be ready to go. And that means when your number is called, you never know what situation is going to happen. And it's getting to win or go home time. So players have to step up and know what they're supposed to be doing at this point in the season.
24-6. Let's mark that. Ooh-wee. Shot clock violation, and it's gone from bad to worse for the visitors.
And that's one thing, too, as a coach. You want to keep it in perspective, especially in your timeouts. I probably wish I would have seen her take a full timeout instead of a 30 on that one, just because she could have got on her team as well as got them in a position to know what was on the shot clock and get ready.
Bobble by McCoy, but she runs it down. Graybill in for St. Francis. Harden, no look. Kick out from Britton. McCoy. Evans, in and out. Nice rebounding effort there by Fleming Mullins.
And somebody's going to have to stop the basketball quickly. Mullen needs to attack aggressively. I like it.
A brush by Evans above the foul line. Not particularly good defensive technique, but
no, nobody stopped the basketball. So when you stop the ball that late in transition, past the free throw line is too late, and then all you can do is reach and foul, and that's what we saw there from Evans.
About 3 minutes left here in the first half. Baseline inbound. Fleming Mullins receives it. Deep J on the way. Back rim. No, that's not her fort. One and done.
And Harden's done a solid job right now, just really getting the herd in offensive set. You see Britton there, big body, automatic foul.
Cloninger is going to be called for the foul. Substitution, Cellini in for Elk Grove. Lee back in for the Troubadours, replacing Graybill.
Now this is grave responsibility for Lee. She's guarding McCoy right now. McCoy has to be aggressive, but Lee has to really step up and be mature and not pick up that fourth foul.
Evans, Britton, baseline drive, reverse layup, down! Wow, that was outstanding.
Something Britton does extremely well, able to put the ball on the floor and create her own shot on that short corner area. That's really big, essential to your package as a big.
That's a 20-point lead right now with about 2 minutes to go in the half. Mackenzie Lane, swing it. Rivera to Lee. Now Cloninger, defended by Britton. Out of bounds, turnover, St. Francis. And there you see head coach Tricia Campbell, I'm quite sure, silently reveling in her team's first half performance.
Yeah, the few times that I have saw Coach Campbell, she stays cool, calm, and collected, whether they have a significant lead as you see now, or they're battling in the game. She really keeps a level head, and I think that's really important for this group of teams.
The baseline drive by Evans, it's called for a player control foul by Marsha Barkley. 2 on Evans. And that should apply a bit of concern to Coach Campbell.
Now, I like this. Something that Elk Grove is going back and forth from is the 2-3 zone to the man-to-man. Still guarding outside the three-point line, and you see Fleming Mullen getting wide open right there. Nice, strong drive.
Pull-up jumper pops out. Okoye called for a foul over the back of McCoy.
And, of course, Evans comes out. She has 2 fouls. It's smart. She plays really aggressive on defense, so if they can save that for the second half, that might get ice the rest of the game.
Britton, outstanding addition to this club. Pivot and move. A little hook by McCoy is in the bottom. 28-6. Wow. "13 turnovers here in the first half." Substitution, St. Francis. Rivera out, back in. Natalie Graybill, number 11, on the floor with Mackenzie Lane, Fleming Mullins, Cloninger, Courier. Entry pass tipped away. Cellini gets a return pass from Harden. Turnaround jumper. McCoy is in the bottom.
McCoy is going all the way in her bag, and they literally can't stop her. I was going to say I want to see her put the spin cycle in because she's been driving so hard to the right.
Mackenzie Lay, a miss on the short J. Cellini out hustles 2 Troubadours, and she's sandwiched hard between Fleming Mullins on one side and Ganito on the other. So timeout taken. It's a full taken by Elk Grove. I can't tell if Marsha Barkley's signaling full or 30. It comes with just 50 seconds left here in the first half. And host Elk Grove sitting on a 30-6 lead.
This is an extremely strong start for the Elk Grove Herd, especially trying to make a statement and take that second spot.
Despite a modest crowd here this evening, a very spirited atmosphere based on the intensity and the importance. Cellini a miss.
They had a little miscommunication there, ended up running into each other.
Marchant pulled down the rebound. Now here's Fleming Mullins trying to get it going. And a whistle, a turnover as Fleming Mullins called for carrying the rock.
And they've done it a couple times, as you see Coach Tricia Campbell on that sideline, stern face, hands on hips.
It's hard to stay cool in times like this, but she's got the formula. This game's far from over. Harden played tough there by Graybill. Seven, 6, turnaround. Britton, a miss with the flip. Follow up, blocked on the shot by McCoy. And there is a buzzer ending the first half. St. Francis blanked in the second quarter and trail at 30-6. We're going to keep it right here because Lauren Goodman is setting up for a word or two with Heather Brownholtz, whose Troubadours had a tough first half. What you got, Goody?
Well, I'm here with Coach Brownholtz. Coach, you were storming to the locker room. What do you want to talk to your team about right now?
Everything.
Coach, offensively, can we talk about it, you guys? Only 6 points. What do you feel like needs to change offensively right now to respond
For
to
the intentional foul. That really just stymied us from the beginning. We're not attacking the basket. It's a confusing game, to be honest. We're getting a lot of aggressive calls, and I don't feel like it's the same. So we just got to work through that like we always do and come back and battle. I mean, we're way down. So now the girls just have to learn to battle.
Thanks so much, Coach. Good luck in the second. Will.
Thanks, Goody. Yeah, tough situation for Coach Brown-Holtz. I imagine this upcoming locker room discussion for the Troubadours will be something close to intense. But that's where it's at right now in this Delta League showdown, with major bearing on the standings and therefore on the upcoming seedings for the playoffs. Don't wander off. We're going to come back for more of Access Sacramento's Hometown Sports Game of the Week.
These are cool. Did you, what did you?
Bye-bye.
Hi. Hoping for a crisp breeze to help keep you alert. Oh, he took a sip of water too. That'll probably help. You were probably gonna turn down the radio too, so you could focus, right?
Probably okay isn't okay.
Right.
If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab, a car, or a friend.
I think the water line is what really drove it home. I blew on him.
Selfie. Nailed it.
Staring contest. You still got it. I know.
Come alive with the forest. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
Here's something we bet you didn't know. Nearly half of all cancers can be prevented. That's right, half. Nearly 50%, mostly by making small everyday changes in your diet and controlling your weight, walking more, eating less, and eating foods that help you and your family to seriously reduce the risk of cancer. And of course, by not smoking. Visit the Cancer Prevention Together We Can website and get a free 30-day planner filled with tips, recipes, stats, and more about protecting your family. Go to prevent50.org.
Welcome back to Elk Grove High School for Access Sacramento's Hometown Sports Game of the Week. We're at the intermission, and host Elk Grove is putting it on St. Francis 30-6. Let's turn our attention to floor level. Lauren Goodman standing by with Elk Grove Athletic Director and head football coach John Heffernan. Goody?
Well, I'm here with the athletic director and head football coach of the Thunder and Herd. Now, tonight you guys are full of festivities, got a lot of crowd out. What's actually happening today in Elk Grove?
So tonight we've got our winter homecoming royalty being announced tonight, all the court and their family. It was nice that it fell on the girls' game, so we were able to get a lot more crowd here tonight to actually watch our girls play, and so far the girls have been doing a great job.
It's a really good game thus far. Coach, you guys are back to full loaded with the basketball team girls, but your boys are doing really good as well. Can you tell me about what's going on with winter sports here at Elk Grove?
Yeah, the boys are having a great season. They got a lot of young players that are growing up and figuring out how to play together and play with each other, and they're unselfish. They're playing as a team, and so it's really fun to watch them transform into the team they've become this year.
Awesome. Now, I know you're in winter sports mode, so you're helping all winter sports, but got to talk to you a little bit about the section championship that you guys endured in the end of winter, actually starting off. You guys had a phenomenal season. We got to cover you guys a few times. Kind of coming off of that section championship, Coach, can you just talk to me about the experience and kind of finally getting that off your shoulders here since you've been here?
Oh, man, it was just kind of a dream season almost, right? We had some ups and downs, but the kids never wavered. They kept coming every day and competing and working hard and trying to get better. And, we were always a pretty good team. The kids were close and tight. And, I think things just lined up right for us this year, and we were able to take advantage of our opportunities. And the kids did a great job in that section title game, and probably played our best game all year that one night. So it all came together that one night. So.
Well, it's always amazing to finally get a section championship in any sport, but when your team does that in football, how does that really impact the rest of the school and kind of set some expectations for their success as well?
Correct. All the basketball kids were all fired up. They're like, hey, we're next. And so, it kind of lights a fire on some of the athletes on campus. So, hey, we can do it in our program, that, it's possible in your guys' program as well. So.
Well, you're doing an amazing job here, making an impact on the herd. Thank you for spending a little bit of time with me, Coach.
Thank you. My pleasure.
Will.
Thank you, Goody. Yes, what a splendid season Coach Heffernan had for the Thundering Herd football team, section champions. So we encourage you to stay with us. We'll be back with more from Elk Grove High School and the Hometown Sports Game of the Week.
They'll test you, try to break your will. But however loud the loudness gets, however many cheese puffs may fly, you're the driver, the one in control. Stand firm. Just wait. And move only when you hear the click that says they're buckled in for the drive. Never give up till they buckle up.
Here's something we bet you didn't know. Nearly half of all cancers can be prevented. That's right, half. Nearly 50%, mostly by making small everyday changes in your diet and controlling your weight, walking more, eating less, and eating foods that help you and your family to seriously reduce the risk of cancer. And of course, by not smoking. Visit the Cancer Prevention Together We Can website and get a free 30-day planner filled with tips, recipes, stats, and more about protecting your family. Go to prevent50.org.
Welcome back with Lauren Goodman. I'm Will James. We're at the intermission here, halftime at Elk Grove High School in this girls Delta League showdown, and thus far it has been all host Elk Grove on top 30-6 at the halfway mark, and there isn't much they did not do well. I think we can maybe only point to the turnovers. They committed 6, but that pales in comparison to 14 by St. Francis. Well, Dave Larson has crunched the numbers for us. Let's take a look at first half stats.
Well, you see in the field goal area, 60% for the Herd, and they've gotten mostly layups easy. On the other side, free throws, 75-50, not too bad. 1 3-pointer apiece, which we talked about. Both of these teams do not shoot threes really well. The 10 rebounds for the Herd is so big. They're really attacking the rebounds offensively and defensively, and that's why they have the edge. But the significant part, we talked about, the team with the most turnovers is going to probably lose the game. And right now you see 14 turnovers for the Herd. For the Troubadours, which is why they are kind of in this situation.
Well, the stats sometimes can be misleading, but they don't lie that often. This rash of turnovers was perhaps what Coach Brownholtz is most disappointed in. Missing shots is one thing, but unraveling, I imagine half of those 14 turnovers were unforced, were just careless passes.
Yeah, and you saw she alluded to the flagrant foul that happened early. I think it kind of just shocked everybody that they actually called a flagrant foul, in which she is saying in response to Elk Grove is playing very tough around the perimeter, and they're extending the pressure. So she's just very confused on why the flagrant was called if they're allowing them to play so physical.
Well, we've talked about the importance of this game in the Delta League, and we'll give you a little broader picture of why that's the case right now. And there's the standings. You can see pretty much the importance of this game based on the graphic.
Absolutely. Right now you see Franklin with the 9-0. They've been pretty much dominant, 21-4 this season. Elk Grove right there in that second spot, 7-2 in league. St. Francis right on the edges, and this is a game that St. Francis really needs to win if they want to make a run at that second spot. Sheldon in that 4-4, also ranked, and then Davis coming in the bottom, and Consumnes Oaks and Pleasant Grove having a struggle after Consumnes Oaks came off of an undefeated season last year, lost a lot of seniors, and you see the reflections of that. And still, my guy McKeever is still trying to work and put things together down there at Pleasant Grove.
Yes, he is. Well, we see St. Francis coming out onto the court, but still plenty of time left in warm-ups. I guess Coach Brown-Holtz did not have that much to say to her squad. But let's take a look at Goody's grade card and the weekly rankings.
Well, this is how it shakes down. I think Antelope at that one spot, which is new. Laguna at 2, McClatchy at 3, Franklin not too far from it, which we just talked about, at 4, Folsom 5, Oak Ridge 6, Placer coming in strong at 7, Monterey Trail at 8, who's having a terrific season off their NorCal run last year. Christian Brothers really coming in full stride, playing strong, but you see on the bubble Wood Creek at 11, Grant at 12, Sheldon at 13, and then coming in at 14 and 15, St. Francis and Elk Grove.
Well, Sheldon, Gina Johnson's outfit. Former outstanding all-metro area player for Franklin some years ago, now head coach of Sheldon High School. But we see the Herd coming back onto the court, and Lauren will be trying to catch up with Elk Grove head coach Tricia Campbell and get a couple of comments from the second-year coach, who last year registered a 20-9 campaign and even reached the opening round of the NorCal playoffs after winning twice in the Sac Joaquin section. And her counterpart tonight, also a second-year head coach, Heather Brown-Holtz. The two of them squaring off tonight in a very important game. And the second half, can't wait to see what happens. I do not believe it will be a repeat of the first half. Well, let's join Lauren Goodman. She is standing by with Coach Campbell. Goody?
Well, I'm now here with the leader of the Herd, Coach Campbell. Coach, had a little extended halftime, but how was the conversation with your team?
It was all positive. You know, I thought my team really came out strong. We asked them to come out strong, and they were mentally there. They played with confidence and controlled. I felt both ends of the floor, so I'm real happy with how we started.
Now, when you have a score like this, Coach, you got to talk about the defense. Defense really strong. How do you feel about your pressure on the perimeter and really holding off Fleming Mullins thus far?
Again, I feel like we've done a great job in helping towards her. Obviously, we know that she's their key player, and I think they just communicated well. And I think our scouting and everything just really helped us, and they brought the intensity, and we're just playing really well.
Awesome, Coach. Well, good luck in the second half. Will.
Thanks, Goody. Yes, Coach Campbell, her game plan thus far has been terrific, particularly the defensive emphasis on St. Francis leading scorer. Fleming Mullins, coming into the ball game with a 17.7 average and coming off 4 consecutive 20-point games thus far. She has been blanked. I do not expect that to continue in the second half. But what I have not seen from the talented scorer is her posting up, ever.
No, she didn't post up at all. Maybe one time in that whole first half. And then also I think her confidence to look that way. I hope they weren't that shaken up by the flagrant, but she has to look to the basket more and get more attempts. I think she's just settling for threes right now, and she's way better than that. For sure an efficient scorer.
Well, we'll see what they try to do about that, but thus far Elk Grove's defensive effort has been superlative. And you saw the standings just a short time ago. Both of these squads have their eyes on the prize, but right now the Thundering Herd looking through crystal clear lenses. 30-6. St. Francis blanked in the second quarter. How often does that happen?
Normally, never. I haven't seen the St. Francis team in a while get blanked in the second.
Well, we've talked about the scoring prowess of St. Francis wing Fleming Mullins. Her last 4 games have been nothing less than dynamite. 4 consecutive game rampage in the scoring column, 23, 26, 31, 20. Tonight, though, the door has been slammed, and now it's not beyond her capability to have a big second half. She will need one in order to spark the rest of that ball club.
Absolutely. She is a terrific scorer, has had a tremendous 4 years at St. Francis and has really grown and developed. And when you put an offensive package like that in the last 5 games, coaches need to be calling, and she's for sure available.
Same starting 5 on the court for St. Francis. Same for Elk Grove. Cellini taps it away, but recovered by the sharpshooter, and she's got her bucket.
And that's what I like. I like to see her come out aggressively first attempt. You should get one, and she did.
So that could be the icebreaker her ball club's looking for. Break up by Cloninger. Loose ball. Who wants it? Wow. Mackenzie Lane ties up Evans. Possession arrow to Elk Grove.
And I like it. This is what Coach Brownholtz was talking about. Let them play physical. If it's going to be a physical game, let it be physical on both sides. And I think that was a great no call instead of jump ball.
Marsha Barkley, our head official tonight. A travel and a turnover on Cellini and the Herd. Up the court, 3 ball on the way. Rivera misses everything. Save try, out of bounds to St. Francis.
And that was good hustle on the other side by the Troubadours. They're showing a little bit more energy in this second half, coming out really strong and aggressive, and that's what you want to see from any coach. After you have a rough first half, you got to come out strong in the third.
Inbound lob. A whistle and a foul. For now, a huge size mismatch clobbers Mackenzie Lane, and she'll be at the stripe to shoot 2. Good on number 1. So an encouraging start here now for St. Francis. Mullins her first bucket, and Lay getting to the line and dropping 2 free throws. Elk Grove breaks the pressure. Here's Harden to Singleton now. We played a minute here in the third. Intensity picking up.
And I like that the Troubadours came out in the press.
Reach foul on Cloninger, and that's bad news for the Troubadours. 3 fouls on Sarah Cloninger. Non-shooting, Harden to inbound, baseline right. Slap of the ball, dump it to Cellini. Bank shot, good, and she's fouled on the play by Fleming Mullins.
That was good focus and concentration by Cellini. Way to get it up and finish for the and 1.
Boy, she sure did. Steady with the dribble. Back rim, no. Singleton out hustles 3 Troubadours for the rebound. Harden down low to Finau. Out of bounds. A Herd turnover signaled by Marsha Barkley.
I wish I would have rather seen Harden kind of dribble over to the side so she could have probably got a bounce pass. Even the chest pass, because Finau had great positioning. But she doesn't catch the ball well on the move where she has to really extend and go get it. And that's what led to that turnover.
Mackenzie Lane, drive on Singleton, kick it to Lee. Back rim, no. Singer should be Cloninger with a follow-up. Draws a foul inside.
I like Cloninger such far. She's been rebounding really well, and you see Singleton picking up another foul there, but I really have liked her. She's been rebounding extremely well, but now Coach talked about it a couple of times, wanting her to look to score and look at the basket, and that was a great way of keeping that in the key, as we see here. She just gets really good positioning, goes and gets the board, keeps it herself, and finishes, and now she knocks down 2 free throws.
She's just a 55% free thrower, but dropped them both, 32-12. Evans to Singleton. Extended pressure. St. Francis trying to turn up the heat and force possessions. Bobbled by Evans, loose ball. She recovers and gets it to Cellini.
And are they looking at the shot clock right now?
Arden, a miss. Look at Fanau. Out of bounds to Elk Grove. The physicality is escalating.
Now this is where Elk Grove has to show me that they're a playoff team. They've been averaging around that 45 points, and they got to score more than that. They're stuck at this 32, and they haven't really had offensive success.
Fanau has some offensive success with that. Nice finesse move there. Turn and bank it home.
And that's something that Fanau can do literally the entire night, but they got to get her in the right positioning to catch the basketball and then finish.
Kick out, lay down. Mackenzie Lane with the tray. Tempo picking up. Evans taking strong, banks it home.
And a no call there. They're really letting them play, and that's what I wanted to see.
36-15, Elk Grove by plenty. Lay, drive on Singleton. Now back out. Down the slot, blocked. Harden with the defensive check. Take it, strong, a layup, missed. Tough luck, good move, no finish, and here comes Lee. They play catch, and she fires away, a miss. Uncontested board pulled by Harden. Timeout taken by the Elk Grove Thundering Herd. Tricia Campbell wants a 30. Well, we definitely saw the intensity and the tempo accelerate.
He definitely did, and I really like how the Troubadours responded right now. I think Coach Campbell calling the timeout was really important, get her team a blow. As you see on the other side, Coach Brownholtz really talking to her team, communicating more, as she talked about, again, in that first half, her team being confused and having some confusion. But here we go on the other end, Harden with a nice block, getting that, being in the help side position, and allowed her to get that block. But Coach Brownholtz talked about it, her team being a little confused, and I really like her communication in that last timeout, being able to talk to her players one-on-one and really get her message across.
Substitutions, Elk Grove. Must be very nice for Coach Campbell. Britton comes in along with McCoy.
Yeah, weapons.
Cellini to McCoy, a bobble and a turnover. They combined for 13 points in the first half, 9 from McCoy.
And I mean, the good side right now for the Troubadours is they've been able to force 3 turnovers, and they have had none.
A drive and a whistle and a foul probably called on Britton. It is. I'm not sure about the position there to make that call, but nevertheless, lay at the stripe. Perfect. She's clicked on 3 straight free throws in this quarter to go along with a tray for 6. Not this time. McCoy at the board. Whistle and a foul on Okoye.
And that's where Coach Brownholtz gets frustrated. As you see her right now talking to her team about positioning when they've been letting them play, then they call a little bump foul like that. Those are the frustrating ones.
So Cellini will inbound near side from the corner. Shoves it into Yee, who's off the bench. Backup guard for the Herd, badgered by Mackenzie Lane.
Lay played really good defense to get it out of her hands, and they're going to have to do something better. Harden's going to have to come to the basketball more because Yee does not like to handle the rock. She wants to shoot threes and stop and pop.
Into the post. It's Britton working on Okoye. Dip inside.
Nice.
Bank it home.
Nice.
Amari Britton.
You talking about making a good post move right there. Was textbook up and under, got her slipping, and got an easy and one bucket.
That was junior Amani Britton, who's played well. She completes the three-point play. She's got 7 in the game, and the Herd stretches out 39-16. Corner J, it falls short from Rivera.
And you got to hit people running. Spacing, I need Harden to take the ball down the middle.
McCoy, down! 3-ball corner pocket.
And you just talked about it. Britton and McCoy coming in, really been doing the offensive load. And they come in, score 6 points immediately.
Time out taken. It comes at the 3:39 mark. It's a full timeout. Signaled by Heather Bromholtz. We're going to keep it right here anyway, Goody. Now, we've got half of this quarter expired, a little bit more than that, and they've been unable to chip into the lead.
No, they haven't. They've made some runs, and they've played hard, but they've also dug a very deep hole for themselves, and to have the mental endurance, nothing about the game, the mental endurance to be able to fight in the game, be able to stay consistently mentally strong is very difficult when you have this type of deficit.
Back on the floor, Elk Grove. Now here's St. Francis breaking huddle. Thus far, third quarter scoring, 12-10. Elk Grove sitting on a 42-16 lead.
And before that 6-point run by Britton and McCoy, it was all Troubadours.
Lay, Cloninger throws wild, but it's off the hands of McCoy, so St. Francis fortunate to hold on to the rock. This front line rotation for Elk Grove is excellent. Blocked and stolen by Yee. 16 turnovers committed by the Troubadours. 3:19. Whistle and a foul. It's going to be called on Britton. Nice combination of physicality yet finesse. I like that. Up the floor, Mackenzie Lane sees the daylight, drives it. The runner missed. Cellini scraps for it. Took a long time for that whistle. Held ball. Possession arrow to St. Francis.
And I really like the spark that's coming out of Mackenzie Lane thus far in the third. She's playing really strong, really confident right now, stepping up for the big-time scorer right there.
Harden really playing some tough D on Fleming Mullins. Foul on Harden.
And I like the battle. Two seniors going at it for second place in league. What else do you expect?
Maggie Marchant into the game for St. Francis, wearing 34. Tough D again. Harden really giving Fleming Mullins a hard time. Out of bounds to St. Francis. Wow.
And they got a break on that one. Only 18 left on the shot clock, but that was a huge break.
Jasmine Lee back in, replacing Graybill, and she is yet to get cooking here offensively. Cellini not giving her much room. Three on the way. Down! Jasmine Lee. 42-19. Her first points of the ball game. She averages 8, but she's hit That's her 51st three this year. Cellini picks up her dribble, in some trouble, gets rid of it, but it's a turnover. Lay picks it up, trips over Yee, who's going to be called for the foul. Melee Fanal back into the ball game for Elk Grove. Britton sits down. Heather Brownhold stalking that sideline. Lay defended by the taller McCoy. Fleming Mullins, a long miss. Fanal, nice timing on the rebound. Less than 2 minutes remaining here in the third.
And they got Fanal on the low side and McCoy on the high side.
McCoy backing in against the shorter Rivera. Turnaround J misses. Fleming Mullins starts transition, 1-on-5. Lee down!
And quick trigger when Lee gets that quick release, you see a better shot from her, and now she's 2 for 2.
It pulls him within 20. Harden working against Lee with 3 fouls, whistle and a foul, and that's number 4.
And that's one they definitely didn't want to see, but here's Lee on the other side. Quick release, caught it in the corner, knock him down.
Yee out. Evans back in for the Herd. Near side inbound by Harden in the corner. Gets it to Cellini. Heavy pressure from Fleming Mullins. Now McCoy, a poor pass out of bounds and a Elk Grove turnover.
That's 5 on the quarter alone. So the extensive pressure, 11 total. And it's so important that they take care of the basketball, especially if they want to make this long playoff run that I think they have potential of doing. Division II is going to be definitely very tough and difficult, and they have to take care of the basketball if they want to be successful.
Good ball movement, but nothing coming open for the Trubies here. Rivera down. 3-ball corner pocket. 37 seconds. Closest the Troubadours have been in a while, closing now within 42-25. Still a high mountain to climb. Harden on Rivera, stop and go. Cellini, back rim, no. Board crash, here's Evans. The runner missed. Whistle and a foul.
Late call, but we'll take it.
Marchant called for the foul. Evans to the stripe for a pair. Lefty fires and hits. Evans having an excellent year, averaging 11.6. Drops a pair of free throws, and Elk Grove back on the initiative, answering with 2 free throws. 44-25.
We see that 2-3 zone again.
Player control foul. Marchant called for a foul away from the ball. That's 2 on her in the last minute or so.
And we're going to see a sub.
Cloninger in, Marchant out. 7 seconds to go here in the third. Elk Grove, far side inbound. Harden chased, layup, missed. Fanal after it, follow up, down! McCoy beats the buzzer with an offside board and stick back. Kiara McCoy, 5 in the quarter, and they close it 46-25. We will be right back.
It's a beautiful day out here. Sunny today with light breezes, giving way to clouds in the afternoon. We could see some light precipitation to moderate precipitation later on, followed by powerful storm-like conditions. 90 miles per hour winds are expected. Authorities are asking everyone, stay indoors. Come on, that's it. Let's go.
We played 3 fourth quarter action dead ahead despite a 19-point third quarter burst by drought-stricken St. Francis. Host Elk Grove still holding the big cards, leading at 46-25.
And I mean, that was an extremely big quarter by the Troubadours. Wish they had some of that in the second. It probably could have been a different game right now.
They hit 4 threes and 5 for 6 from the line. McCoy to Finau. Here's Cellini. Runner. Missed. Lay up for the board. Fleming Mullins. 3-on-3. Lee. Harden has it ripped away. Loose ball. McCoy's after it. And a tie-up. Nicole Rivera with the tie-up, but the alternating possession arrow to St. Francis. Jasmine Lee bounce it in, swing it around. Fleming Mullins out to Lay. Lee, turn and fire. Fleming Mullins, a miss and a rebounding foul. Wow, called again. Maggie Marchant.
Marchant's picked up the last 3 fouls for the Troubadours.
Scorer's buzzer sounding, and bonus free throwing. Cellini to the stripe. They've got 18 fouls registered for St. Francis. Okoye is going to come in for the Troubadours, while Britton will enter for Elk Grove.
And now I know the Herd has had a significant lead, but I want to see them play with Britton and Finau on the floor together. We haven't seen it today, but I mean, the tandem could be extremely good.
Banked home straight away. Don't know if it was intended on the season. Cellini's a 78% free thrower, the best on the team. Little shake of the head there, though, leads me to believe that that was accidental. Got them both. (48-25). We're just underway here in the fourth. Feed low, bobbled and grabbed by Okoye, misses from close range, and Cellini rebounds. Here's Harden pushing, 3-and-3, kick out. Evans left wide open, down! Three ball, break up and near steal by Harden.
And such a balanced attack right now for the Herd, really getting contribution from everybody that's coming to the game thus far.
Mackenzie Lane working left against the much taller Britton. 6.5 to go, fourth. Runner pops out, tough luck, but Okoye rebounds. Rivera around and out. Fleming Mullins rips it away. Fade away, Jay, good.
That was a good, strong grab by her. She just said, hey, I'm tired of this, and grabbed a strong rebound. But I like the drive, and again, the confidence by Lay. She's really playing solid since the third quarter.
McCoy looks into Britton. There's the lob. not really well recognized off her fingertips for a turnover. That's 12 on the evening for Elk Grove. 16 for St. Francis, most of those in the first half. Evans sees the pick coming from Okoye and runs around it. Okoye doubled and
it was a jump ball, I'm assuming.
if it was, I must have missed it because and no officials clarification on that.
Yeah, jump ball, possession going back to the Herd.
Evans to Cellini. Here's McCoy. Oh, yes. She's got a very nice, versatile inside game.
Coach Brownholtz is extremely livid right now. Potentially may get a technical, as we see on the other side. Coach Campbell high-fiving the Herd. That was, I'm with Coach Brownholtz, that was a missed call. Evans pushed off on the last play significantly. And Brownholtz is using this whole time to talk to the officials because that was extremely ridiculous. I don't care what the score is. You got to protect the players at all times, and you see the discussion right now. Hands on hips is never a good posture when you are a coach, and that was clearly a push-off. It wasn't a mistake about it. That was clearly a push-off, and this is how we got there. Evans with the extended arm. Had a couple troubadours down, and then we see McCoy tacking in her 16th point of the night.
Now they've got a nice ball club. Since the injured players have recovered, it's like night and day. So if we can reconstruct this, 5:31, fourth quarter, inbound baseline right for St. Francis. Rivera to send it in. Elk Grove playing zone on the inbound. And here's a poor pass from Rivera off Fleming Mullins' hands for a St. Francis turnover.
And you could tell just the frustration is setting in because they're not getting a lot of direction, especially when coaches have to call timeouts to address the officials. Can't really spend time getting your players focused and locked in.
McCoy, wheel and deal, lose it. Loose ball, tapped away. It's a turnover, grabbed by Fleming Mullins. Transition, corner J, air ball wide, taken by Mackenzie Lane. Boy, Evans real hungry, signaling for the ball way off in the corner. High post McCoy, doubled and tied up.
And I like it. I wish McCoy would have looked down straight to Britton. Maybe Britton step in on the seal instead of having to turn her back to the basket. She's getting subbed out right now.
Singleton in, McCoy out, but McCoy has made the Troubadours pay.
Big time. Not only with her scoring, but she's also rebounded extremely well today.
Nearing midway fourth, time getting tight, a poor pass from Lay. It's a turnover as Harden grabs it in front of Okoye. Up the floor, undefended. Harden sends it to Cellini, looking into Britton. Roars around the corner, but draws a brush foul from Fleming Mullins. Two fouls on St. Francis leading scorer. Substitution, Troubadours. Marchant comes back in along with Hannah Dorsey. Lee and Okoye sit down, and Cellini to the line. She hit 2 free throws from there just a short time ago. Not this time.
I don't know the call, but it's going back Truby's way.
15 turnovers now for Elk Grove. 19 called against St. Francis. Lay cautiously into the front court, defended by Evans. Stop and go, runner. Tough luck, it pops out, and Britton rebounds. Tied up, held ball. Marchant aggressively forcing that, but possession arrow to Elk Grove.
You see Coach Brown holds eagle eyes right now with the intensity and the expression. Just another frustrating night for the Trubies. Nothing really going their way.
Britton, sweet money, high off the glass over Marchant. Amari Britton. Lay, defended by Evans on the point. Now Fleming Mullins drives on Harden, heavy traffic. The shot wobbles home, and that's going to be good for a bucket and one. So Cellini called for the foul. She's played a very clean game, just her second personal. Another look.
That was a good, strong drive. Again, I still want to see Fleming Mullen catch the ball on either the high post or the post side with her back to the basket as she completes the three-point play.
$55-30. Here's Singleton. Evans into the post, and it's a foul from behind on Marchant, trying to stay with Britton. Number 4. So Britton to the stripe. She's been up there once, and it was to complete a three-point play. She did. Okoye in, and here's our first appearance from Ariana Ross, wearing 43. A clanker by Britton on number 1. 55-30 at the 3:19 mark, late fourth. Good on number 2. 56-30. A tap away and steal by Evans to the bucket. Down. $58-30.
It's smooth sailings from here.
Blocked
Big block
by Britton. And a foul. Okoye, a shove on Cellini.
And it's just frustration fouls right now. You see from the Troubadours really not able to get in any type of rhythm. And then you see frustration fouls after extremely big blocks like Britton just putting her hand up. No foul, no reach, just high hand, straight to the hand.
So Cellini back to the stripe. She's been up there a few times this evening and drops number 1. Double bonus situation. She'll get a pair. She was 2 out of 4 from there before this trip. 1 out of 2. Britton rebounds. Bobbled by Singleton. Evans now, and they reload. Harden to Cellini. 2:45 to go. Time slipping away on the Troubadours. Evans to Britton. Foul line, Jay, short. Evans comes up with it. Clears it back out to Harden. Cellini looks into Britton, but drives it now. Off balance shot, misses. Britton bumped hard, ball knocked out of bounds. I would have to imagine this is on Ross. It is her first. As we see Tricia Campbell there casually observing the final minutes of this game. Britton back to the stripe. Good on number one. 60-30. As Coach Campbell clears her bench for the most part. Britton's still out there at the line. She'll probably be pulled next. Looks like Fanau might come in to replace her. Number two, also good. 61-30, pair of free throws from Britton. She sits down. Fanau back in for the final 2:17. Drive and kick, bobbled. Second unit out there for Coach Brownholtz. Wide open three ball, gunned home beautifully that time. Knocked down by Hannah Dorsey.
When you're ready, you gotta shoot, and that was a good look off the bench. I like it.
61-33. Outside shot missed. Fanau comes up with the rebound. And they reset. Here's Yee now with a minute and a half to go. Fanau defended by Ross. A poor pass, broken up and stolen. Here's a run out. Down. Nice D, nice O. Inganito with the bucket after the nice defensive play. Pass into the backcourt. That's another turnover. Whistle and a foul. Dorsey fouled on the inside shot with less than a minute remaining. 61-35. Head coach Heather Brownholtz, a fierce competitor, following the same example of her father, John Bolick. You know that name. Missed a pair there. He rebounds. Lob to the corner. Izzy Moreno, another poor pass and a turnover. Wow. They trade turnovers. Moreno, a miss. Final 20 seconds in a ball game that a missed three ball taken there by Graybill. Now here's Okoye trying to sneak inside, feeds it to Ross, who banks it home. And there is a buzzer ending this one, and it turns out to be a rousing 61-37 victory for host Elk Grove in a ball game that basically was controlled and then dominated from the opening tip. Certainly Coach Campbell has to be exceedingly pleased with her team's home performance tonight. Not only does it give them a leg up in the Delta League standings, but it avenges a loss back on January 17th at St. Francis when the Troubadours stopped the Herd in a close ball game, 51-45. Well, we have our entire post game coming up, so don't wander off. Stick around. We'll be back shortly, and Lauren Goodman will be visiting with our players of the game. We'll be right back.
These are cool. Did you, what did
Hoping for a crisp breeze to help keep you alert. Oh, he took a sip of water too. That'll probably help. You were probably gonna turn down the radio too, so you could focus, right?
Probably okay isn't okay.
Right.
If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab, a car, or a friend.
I think the water line is what really drove it home. I blew on him.
Selfie. Nailed it.
Staring contest. You still got it. I know.
Come alive with the forest. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
The verdict is in and the decision is final this evening out in Elk Grove here, where the host Elk Grove Thundering Herd stopped Delta League rival St. Francis overwhelmingly by a final count of 61-37. And for their efforts, a couple of their players are so distinguished. And let's take a look at our players of the game. Junior point guard Mackenzie Lane, one of the top players in the area and one of the assist leaders in the state. A fine floor game, and she came up with 6 second-half points, made a number of crafty passes. And for host Elk Grove, Kiara McCoy, a stellar performance coming on with, she had a doozy of a first half with 9 and finished with 16. They are standing beside our Lauren Goodman. What you got, Goody?
Well, with all the dust settling here in Elk Grove, I'm getting the opportunity right now to talk to both players of the game. We're going to start first for St. Francis. I'm here with Mackenzie Lane. You came out really big in the third quarter. What got you going?
I just, after the halftime, I realized that Elk Grove, they really came out strong, so we really had to pick up the intensity, and we just came out slow, so I just really had to pick up my team and just do whatever I could to pick us up.
Now, we know it's very difficult when you're trying to fight back and get back in the game. What were some of the conversations like with maybe your teammates and Coach Brownholtz down there in the stretch in the third?
You know, it was tough, especially Elk Grove, they got in really big. They got the lead, and it was really tough for us to make all our shots. So we really had to focus up and just, even though we missed a shot or made a turnover, we had to pick each other up and encourage each other instead of putting each other down.
Now, you've been having a fantastic season at the point guard position, number 26 in the state in assists right now. How does it feel to be that ranked as a point guard, getting assists for your team and really creating more opportunities?
It feels really good. It's just not a one-sided accomplishment. In order for me to get up there, my teammates had to make the shot, so it's good on them and good on me for putting in the hard work.
Now, we know you guys are in that third spot in the Delta, going to make the playoffs. How do you feel about your team going forward and really kind of making this playoff run here down the stretch?
I feel like we've been doing well, although the last 2 games we've been coming out a little slow. So I think we're getting a little too comfortable, so we really got to pick it up and just remember to keep pushing hard, come out strong, because there's competition everywhere.
Well, great game today and great interview. Congratulations on being our player of the game. Now, coming over for the Elk Grove stud, came off the bench today, 16 points. What were you focusing on, just bringing that energy for your team?
Coming back off a big injury, I wanted to win Delta, get up there. We started off a little bit soft, maybe a little rocky, but we made it up. So I'm glad that we came together as a team, defensively and offensively, to get this win.
Now, not only did you do it on the offensive end, but you also did it on defense, made some really big plays, rebound really well. What part do you like better, when you're playing offense or really getting going on defense?
I like offense. I like to score a lot, but my defense has got a lot better, so I'm looking forward to getting better at defense. So I've been working on that a lot coming back.
Now, your team had a really balanced attack scoring-wise. You guys are fully healthy. You talked about that. How does it feel just to have your teammate fully strong and really back as you guys are going to push this way to the playoffs?
It feels great. like last year coming off and everything, all these injuries, coming back together, I think all of this made us a lot stronger coming together.
Now, how focused is your team right now? You guys are about to make a playoff run here. You guys got a really big future in the second Division II, so you guys you can really push. How do you feel about your team's performance now going into the playoffs?
I feel great. I feel like we could take it off. We can. I know we can, so I think we got it.
Well, congratulations on the big performance today, and congratulations on being our player of the game. Now, I get an opportunity to talk to the head coach. You say so cool and calm and collected, whether it's down or up. How do you feel about your team's overall performance tonight?
This is the team I've known I'd had all season, and it's just great to see it happen out on the floor and for them to finally see that come together, with everything they've been through with the injuries, and finally getting that chemistry back, and just seeing them put their hearts out there. It was really cool to see.
We know you guys are fully loaded, totally different team. You guys really played a big preseason, but you had a balanced attack today. 4 people in double figures. That's really big for any coach. Scoring 61 points. How do you feel about your balance in the offense and then just putting up these numbers?
Again, it just feels like I've been waiting for it all to fall into place. We've had one or two girls here or there that have really good games and others aren't, and I think they just knew that they were due. I keep telling them that they deserve it and their time is coming, and to be patient. And I think they knew what was riding on this game and fighting for that second spot in Delta. And with 8 seniors on the team, and nearing the end of the season, they knew they had to lay it out there, and we told them that, and they just gave their hearts. I'm so proud of them.
Now, you guys know you're getting a tough Delta, so you guys still finish out a couple more games here, but you guys are definitely going to get a playoff berth. Just how do you feel about this last end of this stretch for you guys in the Delta and then starting that playoff run?
I think it's the run that we need. I think that, again, we played that tough preseason in order to prepare us for this league, and then ultimately we got playoffs coming up, and I think it's just preparing us even more for what we're going to see there. We got these tough 3 games in the back end of the season, and I think it's good timing for us, really, of how everything is just, the girls are just playing well together and start talking and communicating better. So I'm excited for it. I'm excited for playoffs.
Well, you can tell your team was really excited to be back together. Coach, congratulations on the win.
Thank you so much.
Will, back to you.
Thanks, Goody. Yes, certainly it would have to be a special moment for Coach Campbell. As we mentioned a few times, she had numerous injuries to key players, and they are, for the most part, fully recovered. And what a blessing that must be for Coach Campbell to have her team intact for a change. And they sure did show what they're made of tonight. It was an all-around outstanding performance up and down their lineup. Their entire rotation contributed in a big way. And as Lauren Goodman had mentioned, 4 of the herd in double figures, led by McCoy's 16, 15 from Evans, 12 from Britton, and 11 from Cellini. As far as the St. Francis Troubadours are concerned, they were down 30-6 at halftime. So they did turn up the heat. They scored 31 in the second half, Goody, but so did Elk Grove.
Yeah, they dug too deep of a hole for themselves, and I got to blame it on the second quarter. They did not perform. When you score 0 points in the quarter, that's very difficult. And you see here in the stats breakdown by our guy, Mr. Larson, Elk Grove, they just dominated. You see kind of a balanced attack. We were kind of talking about the free throws earlier, and I like to see that. St. Francis came out big, but the rebounding game was for sure Elk Grove. They had the height. They had multiple players with 5 or more rebounds, so you see that significance there. But on the other end, and I didn't get to talk to Coach about it, but they turned the ball over a lot. 12 turnovers in the second half. They got to take care of the ball better, definitely, if they want to make a run in that steep Division II. And then on the other side, St. Francis, 23 turnovers. Can't win a lot of ball games like that.
No can do, but a superlative home performance for Tricia Campbell and her Elk Grove Thundering Herd. For St. Francis, a disappointing loss on the road, but you can bet your bottom dollar that head coach Heather Brownholtz will have their minds right for the next game, and she has been excellent at that in just her second year. Well, this is not the end of the line. next week we have more for you. As a matter of fact, it's Valentine's Day, but there will be no love lost on the final day of the regular season. We'll be over at Grant High, where the host Pacers are going to lock up with the River City Raiders. That's on Friday the 14th, 7 p.m. tip-off, and that is a spicy game right there, also with some of the same ramifications as we held in tonight's contest. So next week, Hometown Sports Game of the Week from Grant, the Pacers hosting the River City Raiders. Here tonight in Elk Grove, an overwhelming performance by the Elk Grove Thundering Herd. We talked about their low scoring. Tonight they put up 61 with 4 in doubles, and I believe that shattered the low scoring scenario that was hovering over them. So that is the way it shakes out tonight at Elk Grove High on the Hometown Sports Game of the Week. The host Herd 61-37 over visiting St. Francis. And this would be the time to thank our hosts, the Elk Grove administration, particularly Athletic Director John Heffernan, for our broadcast arrangements. Many thanks to Game Director Nick Dunn, to our statistician Dave Larson for crunching superb numbers tonight. Thanks to my partner Lauren Goodman and our entire Hometown Sports Game of the Week broadcast crew. I'm Will James. We thank you for joining us, and as always, we will look forward for the next occasion when we can cross your path. Again, final score tonight, Elk Grove 61-37 over St. Francis in this Delta League matchup. So long, everyone.
Hometown Sports Game of the Week is available for purchase on DVD. For more information, call Access Sacramento 916-456-8600, extension 0. This has been a Hometown Sports Game of the Week broadcast from Access Sacramento. Major underwriting support this season for Hometown Sports Game of the Week on Access Sacramento is provided by the Sacramento Metropolitan Cable Television Commission. Access Sacramento also thanks Sharif Jewelers, fine jewelers since 1932. Sharif Jewelers, a longtime sponsor of community television. And Folsom Lake Honda, a proud sponsor of Access Sacramento's Hometown TV and Game of the Week, and a partner in our community, Folsom Lake Honda.